In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I created my mental, physical, and business goals for this winter arc. So no matter how long you want to be doing it for, whether it's 30 days, whether it's 60 days, whether it's a month, or whether you just want to achieve your goals faster, I'm going to share with you the exact way on how you can figure out what are the actual goals, how to get specific, and then what you need to do in order to achieve them. So it's going to be three categories as I've already listed. So let's get right into the first one. The first one is mental, spiritual, psychological, right? It's this it's basically this category where you got to figure out how do you want to improve mentally? Do you want to get more control of your habits? Do you want to start scrolling less or not scrolling at all? Do you want to read more books? Do you want to acquire a new skill set? Do you want to become a better speaker? It's all these skills and all these other, let's say, habit development and maybe, let's say, addictions. They all go under this umbrella. So you got to figure out what are these things that you want to uh, achieve or eliminate or improve on. Now, I highly recommend you grab a pen and a piece of paper and write down number one and then the mental goals. I want you to get actually specific. Don't just be vague and say, I want to improve in this or that. If you want to read more, don't just say, I want to read 10 minutes a day. Say, I want to read uh, one or two books in this 30-day period, or a specific book, a specific type of book that you want to read, note it down. For example, what I did, I wrote, I will not be scrolling throughout this time, right? I will be reading one to two books. I will have read one or two books in this period of time, and I will also aim it to achieve 500 subscribers on YouTube throughout this period. So this is also, let's say, acquiring like a skill, because YouTube isn't my business. It's not where I'm making my money from. Here I'm just sharing uh, the advice and the things that I'm learning on my business journey. So I would also recommend putting in some habits in here, maybe some hobbies that you are truly enjoying. For example, for me, it's juggling and the Rubik's cube. I kind of like to solve it sometimes. So add some things that you would like to spend more time on, because it's not all about just going 100% into your goals, like the, let's say, the money making and the physical part. It's also about replacing the urge to scroll with something that you truly enjoy, because you enjoy scrolling, right? But you also enjoy other hobbies that you have. You might enjoy drawing, you might enjoy writing, you might enjoy singing, writing poems, I don't know, even solving a Rubik's Cube, maybe playing chess, whatever it is. Get it here is this category, because it's going to be a very, very important one. And it basically just makes sure not that you don't burn out, because I think that might be a bit gay, but I think it just makes sure that you actually find this enjoyable, and that you don't start associating this, let's say, challenge in this winter arc with something like just misery and boredom, and just some challenge that you want to get over with as fast as possible, and then you don't want to do any of it in the future. So this is a very important part. Now let's get into number two. This is going to be the physical part. You need to get super specific with the fitness goals that you want to achieve. Do you want to, like, a lot of people, they say, I want to start running in the morning, I want to go to the gym more often. You need to get specific. What is the outcome that you're going after? Do you want to be able to run a 20 kilometer race, a 20-mile race? Do you want to be able to, I don't know, lift a certain amount of weight? You need to get super, super specific, because once you get a specific goal, it's way easier to structure your routine and your schedule around it. So get it super, super specific. For me, for example, I'm gonna give you what I wrote. I want to be able to do 30 pull-ups in a row. I'm at 25 right now, and by the end of this challenge, 30-day challenge, I would like to add 5 pull-ups on top of what I already have. So this is my specific goal. Then I also have another calisthenics skill that I want to unlock, which is called the 90-degree handstand push-up, and I want to be able to touch the ground while standing with my palms. So I want to increase my flexibility. So have specific goals. Don't just say I want to do more of this or I want to improve at this. Get super specific, because you will be able to track your goals. You will know exactly what you're going after, because when you have just something vague that you want to improve at, you most of the days you won't be giving it your best, because you see, well, yeah, I just want to get better at it. I'm still getting better. I'm focusing on it more. I'm doing more of it. But once you have like an actual specific goal, you see, okay, I'm a bit behind. I need to lock in here. I need to put in the effort every single day, if I want to make it possible and become a reality before the end of this challenge. Now let's get into I would say the most important part, because this is basically, at least for me, all these other habits, right, uh, are important, like fitness and taking care of my mental, let's say, state. Improving mentally is of course super important, but mainly I want to optimize all these just so I can get better results in my business. So with business, right, business wise, I want you to get super specific with the amount of money that you want to be making, that you want to make, let's say, by the end of this challenge. For example, I wrote a specific amount which I want to earn from my business. And then what I did was, okay, if I want to earn this amount of money, how many sales calls should I be booking a week? And I estimated, like, to be conservative, because I don't want to base the challenge off of luck, right? I don't want to say, well, if I could uh, get, let's say, a few calls, there's a chance I might close someone. No, I want to get super, let's say, strict with it. I want to be able to work towards something that I know I will basically have a guarantee of achieving, right? It's like you're doing so much work that it would be unreasonable for you to fail. That's the kind of attitude you want to be going in this challenge. So what I did was, I got a goal of how much money I want to make. And then what I did, I broke down all the inputs that I need to be putting in to get those 7 calls, which would bring me all this money. So 7 calls a week. I broke down. Okay, how much outreach? How many people would have to see the outreach that I send them? So in this case, I'm sending them Loom videos, giving them some free value on their page, and how they could get more clients. Okay, I estimated that for getting 1 call, I would need around 5 or 6 of those videos. Okay, perfect. Now, how many people would have to respond to me before I actually send them the video, like asking me for a video? I wrote 30 people. Then I wrote how many people would I actually have to contact in the first place in order to get those responses? 120. You see, very, very conservative numbers, just trying to get super specific. And now, right, I have a very, very specific plan of what I have to do exactly in order to achieve that money making goal that I have. And that's the way that you need to be approaching these challenges. You need to have a goal, and then you need to break down all the exact, numbers down to the detail, all the inputs that you need to be having and putting in order to get the desired outcome. This is how it works. So this is basically what I did uh, for the business. And then, for the 1 and 2, so the mental and the physical parts, it's also pretty easy to structure everything. You just see how much should you be working out throughout the day. How much time should you be allocating towards, let's say, reading a certain book, so you can estimate how long it would take you to finish it. And that's exactly what you do. Now, here comes a very, very important part: schedule. For example, right here, as you see, you won't understand anything because it's not in English. But what I basically do is I plan out my entire day from the time when I wake up to the time that I go to sleep. I write down what I'll be doing. Let's say, for example, I can read you my schedule if that's of interest to you, but maybe it will help you get a clearer idea and maybe even give you some examples and maybe some inspiration towards your challenge. So first, I wake up at 6 o'clock, right? Cold shower. Then from 6:05 to 6:20, Bible plus prayer. Then from 6:20 to 7, Instagram outreach. From 7 to 8 o'clock, I'm going to the gym. Then from 8:30 to 10:05, I have class in my school, so I basically have school. Then I have a free period, so I go back home. I do more outreach. Then I go back to school again. Um, I have a free period. Then I practice for my exam that's coming up. Then what I do is I go back to school again. I write the exam, and then I start doing even more outreach. So finishing off, sending the voice messages, eating, and then I will start journaling. I will go to read some books. I record a YouTube video, and prepare for sleep. So as you see here, I wrote every single thing that I'll be doing throughout the day. Like, I'm not leaving anything up to chance. I don't want some basically indecisiveness or lack of planning to get into it, because that's usually what happens. You just have a loads of these things that you want to do, but you feel like you have more time than you actually do. And yeah, of course, I don't say that you don't have enough time. You do, but you don't make the most out of the time. And usually, if you, let's say, have 3 hours of, let's say, to play around with, you will usually, let's say, if you don't have a schedule, uh, waste just like 3 or 4 hours just because you'll be thinking, okay, I still have more time later. I can do something else now. And just because you didn't actually plan out your day and see, okay, so I actually need to be working now because I won't have time for X, Y, and Z. And this sounds super, super simple, but you're still probably not doing this because a lot basically no one does this. No one plans out their entire day. They do plan out some of the meetings they have and put into their Google Calendar, but besides that, they're not planning the time that they're waking up, that they're brushing their teeth, that they're reading the books, the time that they're winding down. These are actually one of the most important parts. So this is basically it for actually planning and figuring out what you want. It's very important to have a goal, have a main goal that you want to achieve with this challenge that will be driving you constantly. And for bonus, I would highly recommend you find an accountability partner. So someone who would actually go for the exact same challenge that you're signing up for. For example, I'm going into this with my business partner. So it's really helpful for each of us to keep each other accountable, to talk about and see, okay, I found that this habit actually helped me with stopping to crave scrolling, or now I have this certain problem, or I have a lack of motivation, or I'm missing this. It really helps you to stay accountable. And I almost forgot this, a very important thing. You need to have a punishment. You need to have a punishment for missing a day that you agree with your accountability partner on. So, for example, in our case, right, what we decided we'll do is we have to run 5 kilometers uh, with only a t-shirt. It's winter here, like 0 degrees outside, and 5K run, 100 push-ups, 100 dips, and 100 pull-ups, and then you come back home. So pretty cruel, pretty brutal, and this thing will make sure that I don't want to skip a day, that I don't miss out on any of the tasks that I've agreed to do. Right? I'm not gonna tell you that if I, let's say, read 20 instead of 30 minutes, I already get the punishment. No, because of course life gets in the way. So also a very, very important part here is to leave some room for error. So you need to have, let's say, a buffer of like 1 hour, maybe half an hour during the day, just if something comes up, because you can never control 100% of your life. You can control like 95% of it, but the other 5% are just kind of up to chance. So sometimes you will take longer to do a certain thing, sometimes you'll take less time to do them. So don't don't make, let's say, don't make it that start something at 1 hour, you finish it at the other, and then you instantly start something else. Even I gave myself a 30-minute buffer after coming back from the gym and going to school, right? I'm not going to be planning out that I could still, let's say, have an extra 10 minutes to do something. If I will have, I will do something. If I won't have it, I won't beat myself up for it. So I hope this helps. If you want a more detailed, in-depth tutorial on exactly how you could, let's say, structure it for yourself, giving you maybe some examples and like giving you specific things, if you don't actually want to plan it out for yourself and you just want some plan that you can just follow, that's like a blueprint and like literally made for you, let me know. I'd be excited to do something, come up with it, maybe prepare a more structured and in-depth video on it. But besides that, I literally gave you everything you need. I told you the exact things that I'll be doing throughout this challenge and that you can take inspiration from. So if you're ready to change your life, share this with a friend that you'd like to join this challenge with you. And let's get after it. Let's end off 2025 right. And if you're watching it in 2026, well, it's never too late to start. God bless.